Good morning and welcome to the DFS Army YouTube channel. I'm Razzle11 or Razzle11 Grinds on Twitter. Taking a look at this Friday slate of pitching options. We have a pretty, messed up slate of games today with some of the games being postponements from yesterday. So we actually have a day full of baseball, but both sites are a little different on their day and main slate. So I'm going to try to just look across a couple of the slates to find some pitching spots for us to target or even avoid on the slate. Uh, so the first one I'm going to take a look at here is Zach Wheeler taking on the Reds. I was all about the fade on him in his start number one of the year. Um, Kind of basing it on the fact that I don't know that he was fully healthy last year, pitching deep into the season, postseason wise. So I do have some concerns about him during the season, as I pointed out with Aaron Nola as well. But I actually think today is the day that I want to use him. He racked up swinging strikes against Texas, even though he struggled a bit. Obviously, you can see by the line. He did still have 7 strikeouts in 4 1/3. So his stuff was there. Swinging straight stuff was there, and that's kind of a thing that I want to look for in guys. If they do struggle, are they still able to get swings and misses on their stuff? That tells me it's just a matter of execution rather than actual stuff. So he's somebody that I'm going to be on. It's actually during the day games is one of the warmest atmospheres, which isn't the greatest for pitching, but he's still facing the Reds offense, who we expect to be pretty weak as the season goes on. So I will be jumping on the Wheeler train today. Somebody that I am fading on this early slate is going to be Lucas Giolito. Now I get everybody's going to look to him taking on the Pirates, but I'm not a believer in Lucas Giolito anymore. I've pointed it out in notes quite a bit that he's one of the ones that have been affected by the crackdown on substances for pitchers. He was on his way to becoming an ace, uh, and then all of a sudden they took that stuff away, and he got hit around. He ended up being pretty decent in his opening start, even though I was definitely against him. But I'm just going to take my chances here and go elsewhere. This one's a dangerous one um, because obviously we know that they are going to be favored. He's only just a minus 135 favorite as of right now, uh, which isn't all that high considering his opponent. So I'm just going to be off the Giolito train for probably the entire season, to be honest. Two guys that I am going to use quite a bit of, actually three. I'll add these all together because they're right similar, but they're all cheaper than Giolito. But it's going to be Logan Gilbert, Savali, and then Sonny Gray. Now, the reason I am going to be on all of these guys, despite Savali having to take on Seattle, is that the Seattle Cleveland game, the temperatures are going to be a high of about 42 degrees with some wind blowing in from center. Uh, so, according to our weather station, it is the worst hitting environment on the day. So, it's going to lead me to want to go heavy on those guys. I am worried about using Savali. I don't generally trust him a ton, but I am going to trust the weather. And then obviously he was pretty sharp against Seattle in his season opening start. Um, Now I would say Seattle gets a little bonus there because they've seen him recently, so it's kind of tough bouncing back and making a consecutive start against the same team. But I just really like the pitching weather in Cleveland today. Uh, and with Sonny Gray, I'm a big fan. A little worried about the walks and not any strikeouts against Kansas City. That's a that's something to make me pause. But um, this is one of the worst environments for hitting on the day as well. Looks like about 48 degrees with some wind blowing in, some heavier air. So it is a great spot for pitching. Not the greatest of matchups against the Jordan Alvarez and Kyle Tucker, but I am going to end up overweight on Sonny Gray. Now, probably about it. I'm probably not going to use a whole lot of Urquidy. I'll use Sonny Gray over Urquidy, but I will have a few shares just because it is that pitching environment. But he's not somebody that I am going to make sure that I get overweight on. Uh, Somebody that I'm probably going to come in at whatever the optimizer kind of spits out for me. Taking a look here at the main slate on DraftKings, I am going to end up back to Kershaw. But, he was dominant against this Arizona team. His first start gets them again. The total in that game is a little higher than I would have thought at 8.5. So there is a little worry. Actually, it looks like it moved to 9. So it is moving up, but he is a minus 235 favorite. So I am going to go right back to Kershaw. One of the surprising things is I think I am going to go to Woodruff for some GPP play, but not heavily. I'm not sure what ownership projections have him at yet, but we do know that St. Louis can hit, even though they let us down recently. Um, they might still lead baseball in hits. I haven't looked at any updated stats this morning, but Woodruff was dominant against the Cubs in his opening start. It wasn't just because it was freezing cold or anything. I was watching that game, and his changeup was absolutely filthy. So if he's able to keep that pitch working right away, I think he has a route to a strong performance. He is a minus 170 favorite in a game with a total at 8.5. So I feel pretty good, even though I'm generally anti-Brewer pitching in April at this point. I like what I saw out of Woodruff in his opening start. Uh, so I'm going to give you even 3 more fades here quick. So quite a few pitchers on this video, but because we have split slates, I thought it was the easiest to give you some names. I'm going to lump in Sandoval and Bassett, similar to Savali and Gilbert, but in this term, I'm going to be fading both of these guys. Matchups themselves aren't the greatest. We know Toronto can absolutely destroy pitching. I'm a fan of Sandoval. I have him in a lot of best balls for this season. I think he continues to step forward. It just doesn't feel like a spot I want to rely on him. And Bassett looked atrocious all spring and was just destroyed in his opening start against the Cardinals. Now, yes, we can say that it was the Cardinals and they started up the year extremely hot. But I'm just at this point with Bassett, I think I want to see it before I trust it. And then Flaherty, partially is we know the Brewers' offense is kind of hot right now, but Flaherty like just flirted with disaster his entire start number 1, walking 7 guys in 5 innings. He hit a batter as well. Only struck out 4, but obviously didn't allow a hit. So I think there's going to be people seeing the 0 hits allowed thing and thinking that he's back to the future Cy Young ace Jack Flaherty, and I'm not sure that that's the case. So I am going to be off of him in this spot, thinking that his control could continue to struggle, and if that's the case, Milwaukee definitely can put up some runs the way that they are swinging it. So that is our look at some pitching options on the day. If you found this helpful in any way, please hit the like button. It does help us a ton here at DFS Army. And through this weekend, we do have a promo code of opening day that gets you 50% off your membership with us here at DFS Army. So definitely a great deal. I will put a link to everything in the description below. And good luck, everybody. Get it done.